In a major security scare, powerful blasts and explosions rocked the Air Force Station in Jammu. Two back-to-back low-intensity explosions within a gap of 5 minutes rocked the security technical area. Now, 2 Air Force personnel also received minor injuries. According to a statement released by the Indian Air Force, first blast took place at about 1:37 a.m. and the second blast at 1:42 a.m. One blast caused a minor damage to the roof of the building, while another bomb exploded on the ground. Security agencies have not ruled out a possible terror angle. The team has reached Indian Air Force Station as well in Jammu, which is the blast site. And sources have suggested that there is a possibility that the drones may have been used. Used for what? Possibly to drop the IEDs deep inside the Air Force Station. The drone theory has been explored in the past as well to drop weapons or any other equipment for suspected terrorists. Remember, Pakistan border is just 14 kilometers from the Jammu Air Force Base. In the past as well, drones have been used to drop weapons at least nearby in 12 kilometers. The NSG also is on its way currently to visit the blast site in Jammu.
Two back-to-back explosions occurred at the technical area of Jammu Airport, which is located inside the Air Force Station. This is a very sensitive area here in Jammu, and it's a high security zone, and that is why now the security agencies have swung into action. Multiple teams of the security forces have launched a massive search operation both inside the Air Force Station as well as outside the Air Force Station. So far, there has been a brief statement from the Defense PRO, and as per that statement, he has confirmed that an explosion took place post-midnight, but he said that there was no injury or no damage to any equipment. But still, the security agencies are probing this case from all angles. Terror angle has also not been ruled out, and that is why a massive search operation has been launched both inside the Air Force Station as well as outside the Air Force Station. But there is no clarity yet that whether this was a terror incident or not. All angles are being probed by the security agencies. Forensic team has also been roped in. They are also at the blast site. They are also collecting evidence. But there is no clarity that how did this incident took place in a high security zone. We spoke to many officials in the security establishment. They said that this case is being probed from all angles, and in some time more details will emerge and that will be shared with the media. With video journalist Neeraj Kumar, this is Sunil Bhatt reporting from Jammu for India Today.
This was a low intensity 2 attacks. One went onto the building, one went onto a ground area. 2 Air Force personnel seem to have suffered minor injuries. Now, we have to analyze how this has happened just days after something happened in Srinagar.
Definitely there's a need to be alert, and Raksha Mantri ji has already inquired on the incident from the Vice Chief of Air Staff, and forensic team and the bomb disposal teams have already reached the site. In fact, it is also reported that probably 2 drones were used. Definitely, I think we need to be alert on this aspect of the drone, and the security and protection of the sensitive areas installation is very important.
2 blasts exploded inside the high-security Jammu Air Force Station. What is the initial assessment? It is suggesting that the damage to the roof, it was that an aerial or possible drone attack. Helicopters and aircraft parked inside the Air Force Station could be possible targets. Why? Because the blasts took place right close to the hangars where these aircrafts are placed. However, no damage to any equipment has been reported yet. Initial input suggesting that the shape charges that were used for the explosions. A shape charge is basically an explosive charge which is shaped to focus the effect of the explosive's energy. In the drone case, for example, it would have been an arrow shaped and pointed downward so that the explosive effect is immediately focused downward against the buildings being targeted. Meanwhile, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh has already spoken to Vice Air Chief and Air Marshal H.S. Arora about the blasts. A high-level investigation team of the Indian Air Force will be reaching the site shortly. In view of the situation, Ambala, Pathankot and Avantipura Air Force stations, and that have been put in high alert already. Our defense editor Abhishek Bhalla is reporting right now on the latest. Abhishek, this incident is bound to raise eyebrows because this is not just explosions. This has happened in the Air Force station. So why is it that the drone theory is being looked at, and how significant do you think this incident is going to be?
Well, Pooja, there might have been minimal damage as far as equipment or lives are concerned, but this incident has severe implications for the security establishment because not only is this a very, very critical and high security zone and Air Force station, which has several assets of the Indian Air Force, is a very high security zone. But the fact that, it's suspected that a drone attack has taken place, and there are reasons for it because, prima facie, there is no evidence of any intrusion taking place inside the Air Force station in terms of men physically coming inside. Neither is there any indication of any grenade being thrown. And, there is one very crucial bit of indication that this was an aerial attack, which is the fact that there is a big hole in one of the buildings, which makes it pretty clear, sources are saying, even though they don't want to, come on record
Correct.
on it, that this is indeed an aerial attack. And that's something that needs to be looked into because drones were being used in the border areas for airdropping weapons, arms, drugs in the last few years. Police had intercepted these drones earlier, but now investigations will take, a wider ramification into not just the attack that has taken place, but also the modus operandi.
Now, that's very significant what you're telling us, Abhishek, that this is not just jumping to a conclusion that, oh, yes, it is a terrorist attack, but precisely because there are indicators, and one of those indicators is a reference to the drone theory. Abhishek, I request you to please stay on with me.